My name is Hilary McCollum and I'm reading from Chapter 1 of Golddigger. New York, August 1848. I woke this morning suddenly, as usual. Sleep is black and white for me. When I was growing up, I shared a bed with 4 sisters. They would moan and groan their way awake. Not me. Eyelids springing open, I'd leap out of bed ready for the new day. Except for the nights I spent with Kitty. Then waking was a gentle stroll along a country lane, slowly becoming aware of her lying close to me, my breath on her skin, her foot on my calf, my eyes slowly opening to see hers looking at me. Couldn't help but smile. She'd kiss the edge of my upturned mouth. "Morning, Frankie," she'd say. Now I spend my nights alone in a room in a boarding house in New York City. Sweat has pooled under my breasts as I've slept. New York is hot. I pour water from the jug on the dresser into the basin and begin to wash, wiping my neck, beneath my breasts, under both arms, between my legs. Standing on one foot, I wash the other. I dry off with a rough towel. It's time to dress. I take a long piece of white cloth, tuck one end under my left armpit and begin to wind it round and round my body, binding my breasts flat and tight. I slip into my white shirt and the dark trousers that have hung overnight on a hook on my door. I bought them 18 months ago in a pawn shop on the Lower East Side, the day after I'd arrived in New York on a coffin ship from Cove. I had a little money sewn into a pocket in my skirt, but no address to go to. I was washed along by the tide of people milling around the harbour, and then I felt a strong hand on my arm and I was propelled down a side alley away from the crowd. He stank of sweat and dirt and something huge and animal. Forcing one filthy hand across my mouth, he pushed me hard against the wall. "Shut up, whore," he said as I yelped in pain. With his free hand he was fiddling with his trousers, but he couldn't get the buttons undone. Cursing, he removed his hand from my mouth. It was my one chance. I clawed my fingers sharp down his left cheek. "Bitch!" he roared as he drew back his fist and swung for me. I dodged and he hit the wall. My knee came up hard and fast, catching him full in the groin, and then I ran and ran and ran. I couldn't tell if he was following, didn't dare look behind. Finally, I stopped in a busy street, light and sound all around me. I leaned against a wall, my lungs burning. Slowly, my breathing returned to normal. I looked up. There was a sign on the opposite side of the street, guest house. I crossed over. They had a room free. I took it. I was awake most of the night. I'd heard stories of women molested, rumours whispered behind the hands of girls disgraced and outcast. I knew these things happened, but they'd never happened to me, not until then. That's when I decided to become a boy.